GM. I hope you guys like good tunes and good music, because that's how we starting the shows now. I let a motherfucker up, and the first thing he does is chill his bullshit to the top. Um, the goblin, whatever that is, and that's the issue, right? He comes in, he shills his shit, and then he goes about his day. Listen, man, we don't promote rugs in this space. He's shilling a rug. He wants to rug you on. That's why he's posting it to the top without even introducing who he is or what his name is or anything of that nature. At least have some. You could tell what a rug is when a guy doesn't. Good, genuine people. They always say, "Hey, man, if you don't mind, can I, kind of just post my thing to the top?" Yeah, cool, bro. It's cool. Go ahead, man. All love. You support the show. Go do your thing. A motherfucker who wants to rug you comes on and doesn't even say what's up. Let me just shield my thing to the top and I'm out. And he's out. But it is what it is. That's the NFT space for you. But we're past everybody in this room right now. We're past that. We're on to the next level. We're focused on what is really going to revolutionize this world, and that is ENS, right? We're early, but we are in the right path. We're going in that right direction. Now, with that being said, y'all, happy Friday. I'm very excited to kind of be, nearing the end of this week. I look forward to having a fun, eventful, enjoyable weekend. End of the work week. So I'm just feeling really good about it being Friday, to be honest. NFT verse, I got a couple of drinks ready to go tonight. But on to the serious stuff, right? On to the serious stuff, on to the current events, the news that's going around the world. Uh, Tiffany and Co. Tiffany and Co. officially sold out all 250 of their NFTs, which is a good sign. They did something experimental, and it worked. It worked to their benefit. Now they did do a very small supply amount of 250. But I think they were kind of just testing it out. Maybe the next release they do is 1,000 plus. Who knows? But I'm happy to see Web2 companies like Tiffany and Co. come into the Web3 space and do well for themselves. Listen, Tiffany and Co's know what they're doing. That company has been around for 200 plus years. You don't your name, your company, your brand doesn't live for 200 years if you don't know what you're doing, right? And they're taking the right steps by incorporating Web3 and trying to get into the Web3 world. So they probably will be around for another 200 years if they continue to stay on top of technological trends like that. So shout out to Tiffany and Co. I want to move on to the next one. 9999999 sold for 10 ETH, which is a pretty solid offer for 6 digit, right? I think the 9999s, anytime you have a consecutive number like that, they're worth good money. I know Master turned down a 20 plus ETH offer, I believe, on the 5 digit 99999. So to see, I don't know if this is the same buyer or potential buyer. See, he seems like he got what he wanted with a 6 digit one. But with that being said, y'all, that is enough from me for the day. I'll go ahead and pass it over to Gary, and then we'll go to NFT verse right after that, and then we'll swing it over.
Hey everybody. Yeah, so do you know how long it took for the Tiffany to sell out? Did it equal like how many days,
I'm not sure.
Kev?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, what I'm thinking about that is that 250 of those NFTs times 30 Ethereum equals 7,500 Ethereum, right?
It took 10 to 15 minutes.
15 minutes to sell out?
Yeah, 10 to 15 minutes.
Wow. So 250, so this math might be wrong, but 250 NFTs times 30 Ethereum each equals 7,500 Ethereum. And if you divide that by a 10,000 PFP project, I'm pretty sure that equals 0.75 Ethereum each. And so what I'm thinking I'm just like trying to compare the apples to apples, like on the spot here. And I'm thinking, it's not like apples to apples. It's not that bad. You know what I mean? Like a one Ethereum project, a 0.75 Ethereum project, except, they're going to put super high quality into fewer of them. You think we've seen, there's 1,000 NFT projects and there's 8,000, there's 10,000. Well, this is like a 250 NFT project. It's a collection. It's an artist collection. And the utility that each digital NFT is going to get is that they're going to get this physical pendant matching, pendant made out of precious metal. And yeah, pound for pound, like if you compare like a 10,000 PFP as like the standard unit of measurement in terms of scarcity, then yeah, I mean, it's 0.75. And then I think it's interesting to think how that could potentially 10x the value of some of these items, to say that, well, it was 30, and now when you sell your punk, your punk is going to be worth like 200 Ethereum, but your Tiffany's NFT plus that is going to be like 300 Ethereum. And then having the actual punk plus the Tiffany's punk plus the Tiffany's pendant, the NFT pendant and the physical pendant, all together just adds on to the value of that original NFT, which, might be number, could be, I mean, for the numbers people, I would make a list of all the Tiffany punks and what their numbers were, and then create a ENS category just for those, just on the ENS side of things, right? Because those numbers are now even worth even more. And on the ENS side of things, I kind of wonder when there's an NFT and it passes through somebody, like if there's like the worst NFT of a project, but it used to be owned by Eminem, even though it's the worst NFT, it's kind of like better than the worst NFT because it was previously owned by a celebrity. Yeah, there's all of these gamification factors that are going to be obvious in 5 or 10 years, but we're not really thinking about now about how value is adding on top of value, and how everybody that in this room is doing work, and how we connect with other people could be in really small ways, could be extremely significant in the way that everything is connected into the future. But really fun stuff.
Fun indeed is the word to say. Thank you, Gary. Yeah, man. I think, wow, I'm shocked at the 10 to 15 minute number. Right, it shows that there was clearly uh, a demand there for Tiffany's, and they made a good chunk of ETH. Right, they made a really good chunk of ETH right there that will only appreciate in value. So who knows what they're going to do with the ETH? Who knows what their future strategies are? But one thing I know is you make 7,500 ETH in 15 minutes. That is a big sign to continue down that pathway. But good morning, NFT Verse. How you doing today, brother?
Hey, GM, everybody. GM 5159. Thanks for hosting. Hope everybody can hear me loud and clear. Good morning to the community. Good morning, Gary. Let's see, E-Money up here, Master 0095, Crypto Reporter. Good morning to the whole entire community. Today is Friday, guys. Today is a special day for me because I get to relax and calm down at some point in this day and kind of just kick back. Okay, that's what I'm looking forward to today. But on a more serious topic, ethics and trust, those two words right there are very important to me in this space. And I believe that those two words are going to rise to the top at some point in time as we continue to grow and explore in this space. Ethics. You're going to be able to tell if people have ethics, if they're ethical. You're going to be able to understand how to trust people in this space, who to trust and who not to trust. Just like Kev said at the beginning when the guy popped in here and threw up and shielded his thing at the top and just pinned it and left. Those are the type of characters you got to really pay attention to out here, guys. This space is not going to get any easier. It's going to get a little bit more hectic, so to speak, as time goes on. As more people start to enter into this space, there are going to be some bad actors that's going to come around, and there are going to be more and more rugs. Let's just say that are going to come to surface in this space. It's only part of the cycle that happens. It happened in crypto. It happened with all the shit coins. I mean, listen, I was part of all of that stuff being rugged back to back. So I understand it. I understand what it is to get involved in a shit coin, in a crypto, and then the next thing you know, everybody's run off with your money, and you're looking for the devs, and like, where are the devs at? They're gone. They've taken millions of dollars out of people's pockets. So don't be surprised, when you see that in this space, because it's so wide. The net is cast so wide. There's so many things that you can do inside this ENS space. I just say stay vigilant, do your due diligence, surround yourself with people who know what they're doing and know what they're talking about, and some people that you can trust. The people that show up in here every single day, the people that are not afraid to come up and speak and come up to talk and engage with the community, those are the ones that you'll start to learn to have a certain level of trust with. And those are the ones that you need to have, that's going to have your back, in this space. To kind of touch on something that Gary was talking about with the Tiffany's and the small collection, and something that you touched on too, Kev, is that it was a market test, right? And it succeeded. It did. They came in, they tested the market, they tested Web3 and the NFTs, and it succeeded with a small collection. It'll be interesting to see how they build the ecosystem with that collection, being that is their first collection that they released, and I feel that ENS would be the perfect opportunity for them to utilize and build an ecosystem. Maybe a in
Yo, yo. I think, is it me or is it you? I think, bro.
internal whole. Am I rug? Am I rug? Kev, Kev, can you hear me? I got to go to you, Kev. Kev, can you hear me?
I can hear you now, but you were rugging for a good little second there.
Oh man, that sucks, man. I was talking about some good stuff. Thank you, everybody, for joining the space today. If you haven't, retweet the space out. Let's get some people in here, man. I'm looking forward to tonight. Thank you. I appreciate it. 5159. Keep it
Hey
up,
man,
bro.
you've been rugging a lot lately, bro. I don't know what it is. I don't know if you're in a new location, you got a new phone service, but I don't know. It seems like every time you speak, you start to rug, bro.
Hey, I don't know what it is either, Kev. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
maybe I'm purposely being rugged. I don't know. I don't know, man.
yeah. Maybe you driving too much gems. The Twitter's like, we got to mute this guy. Who knows? But
Thanks, bro.
yeah,
Appreciate it, Kev.
yeah. Appreciate you, brother. Let's maybe turn your Wi-Fi on, man. We'll keep it moving right along to 0095, man. Nice to have you in the space, man. How you doing, brother? What's going on, bro?
Yo, appreciate you chilling. Yeah, NFT verse. Now you weren't rugging that bad, bro. It was just a little bit. You kind of was just at the end, but you were going in though, by the way. But nah, I'm chilling. I'm chilling, bro. Hopefully everybody's cool, ready to hear what's going on in the space today, man. Just chilling.
Yes, sir. What is that PFP you guys see? You and Wheezy got the same PFP. What is that all about?
Yeah, it's actually his project. I don't want to say the name wrong. Like, okay, let me see, isodopes. So, yeah.
Nah, the crown stood out to me. So it looks pretty cool. Cool, man. We'll keep it moving right along. We'll keep it moving right along, ladies and gentlemen. This is the ENS Update Show. We do the show every Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to about 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we drop the best gems, alpha topics. You could think it, we talk about it, right? So if you're enjoying this space so far, if you're enjoying the speakers so far, go ahead and give this room a quick little retweet. That'll do not me justice or any speakers justice, but that'll do the overall ENS movement justice. This is not about me. Right. This is not about me or any speaker on stage. This is about the movement in the world we're trying to create, not for ourselves, but for the generations of tomorrow. So with that being said, I'm going to go to NFT Verse and then we'll go to Crypto Reporter. Go ahead, man.
No, hopefully it does sound better now, Kev.
Yeah, you sound good.
All right. No, I just wanted to make sure that today that that Elite, I hope Master can come up and talk about the situation that he posted today involving Rarible. So I'm just wanting to throw that out there. Hopefully he can come up and speak about that. But I'll go ahead and hand it off to Crypto Reporter.
Hey, good morning, everybody. GM.
GM.
Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? See, we got everybody on. Gary, got to send you an email today.
Man, you've been talking about this email for the past
Get your
week, bro.
email. I am hip. No. The first thing was sending a DM, and now it's actually sending the email. But I can do that today. I'm off today.
We're doing 1%, slow and
Slow
steady.
and
We're winning
steady,
this.
but 1% every day, and by the time it's done, I should have it by tonight. So, no,
It's okay. I always talk about 1%. It's okay to do 2%.
yeah, oh yeah. Well, shoot, fuck it. Well, it's Friday. We're aiming for 3% today. So, but anyways, guys, I just wanted to say a couple of things real quickly about the Tiffany and Company thing. So we saw just a very old, well-known brand, right, come into the Web3 market and absolutely crush it. Yes, they only did 250, but I think that just adds to the rare and to the fact that it's very exclusive to become a part of this new community. But if you actually take a look, I think at the NFT TIFF, I think that's what they did for their .eth. You can actually go back and kind of go through the rabbit hole. So I'm gonna type that in right now because like I said, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I do like learning a little bit of everything. So when you actually take a look at the NFTIF, because that's what they went for the Tiffany and Company. You go back and you actually see that around like 7 days ago, it was transferred to the brand from Deepak. Now, if you guys are unfamiliar with Deepak is actually part of On Chain or Chain.com. And so he was actually able to facilitate that trade by giving them their ENS name. And I think that's pretty important considering the players that are in the space. So that's one thing I do like about the blockchain, just in particular, that you can see the transactions go on. And so you can kind of like follow the trail. But I think this is big. Um, as you guys can see, we are getting more and more, I want to say, reasonable, or we're starting to see sales that actually are, catching attention. Like I'm seeing just like regular first names, last names now, just regular words. You can start to see that people are actually bidding like 30,000 on these things now, and that's like a normal. So that really gives me hope in this space, and it really showing the value of with having an ENS, or the value of an ENS just in general. I mean, you're seeing with OpenSea and the fact that they're purchasing their ENS. I think that was just beautiful, beautiful marketing, and I think it's really only up from here. So that's all I wanted to say. Yeah, let me work on this email. But all right, I'll pass it on.
Thank you, Crypto Reporter. I can't wait to see you out there reporting more and more, brother. So love having you up. We'll go E-Money and then we'll go over to Master. E-Money, good morning, man.
Hey man, just want to say hi to everybody. Thank you for hosting this space. You're a consistent kind of legend, and I appreciate what you were saying at the beginning of the space about looking out for yourself, man. I just want to mention just one quick thing. I would just urge everybody, just to take a quick look. Past couple of days, massive news. NFTs.com sale. The Instagram announcement yesterday, rolling out, NFTs to the 600 million users. Today, on Meta's Twitter page, they're kind of getting really vocal about the NFT space and augmented reality. And you've got to think, 1.6 billion users are going to be entering the space potentially, which means, the ENS domains, they're NFTs. I don't know if everybody knows that, but, the NFTs are ERC 721 NFTs. Forgive me if I've got the classification of the ERC token incorrect. I'm pretty sure it's a 721 token. But yeah, take a look at Meta's page. It's all coming together, man. It's kicking off. It's NFTs are going to be here. I think maybe people are underestimating how quickly it's going to arrive. All this. I think slowly. I know ENS has kind of really taken off the past 3 or 4 months, and we kind of have all been saying we're early, but there's a part of me which is starting to think, wow, maybe we're not so early. Maybe it's going to be a tidal wave of interest from this point on, because the Web3 space is just getting really, really interesting for me anyway. I mean, I've been following the kind of AR space for quite a while now, and I've been waiting for these things to happen. The AR glasses from Apple and Microsoft, and yeah, it's really happening. So yeah, check out Meta's last couple of posts. Really interesting, really exciting. Big things happening for NFTs and ENS. So yeah, really looking forward to it. Thank you for letting me speak.
Yeah, thank you, E-Money. That's great points you just made there, brother. I just pinned Meta's most recent post with Kiki Palmer. They're doing a little short series called Ride With Us into the Metaverse. That is absolutely huge. And then I just pinned Instagram's most recent post where they have an artist talking about her experience and time being in the Web3 space. So it looks like Instagram Meta is really pushing this narrative of Web3, NFTs, metaverse, artificial reality. It's happening. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. NFT versus on you, man.
Yeah, man, I think, E-Money makes a lot of great points. And Kev, I think we've said this before, right? Like one day you may wake up and the tidal wave, the tsunami has come ashore, right? It's going to happen. When they start getting celebrities involved, and trust me, they're cutting checks. So they're cutting checks to these celebrities, right? Because they understand they need to be positioned. I say Meta, right? Meta needs to position themselves. Well, who better to help position them than the celebrities, right? So you got to think about the strategic planning that's going on with these big companies and with these celebrities. Some of these celebrities may not even care about utility and all of that stuff because they're going to get checks anyway, right? But for us, it's important for us to position ourselves, being so early and understanding how to be strategic, right? Because we're here before the celebrities, we're here before the big companies. So it's important that you understand where you're at in order to position yourself properly so that you can benefit. I'm not saying that everything that you meant is going to sell. Nobody's saying that. Not financial advice, but it's not going to happen. Everything that you have minted and registered is not going to sell, right? But there you do have some things, I'm pretty sure, in your wallet that holds a certain level of value that will sell and get you liquid early on as this thing takes off and that tidal wave comes. But then after that, you may have some other things that may sell, here and there. But positioning yourself is key. It's key right now, guys. This thing is going to hit, man. I mean, Meta is first, right? Because they have deep pockets. So they want to take up all the real estate, right? We know that. So they're going to make an effort like you've never even seen before. But then once people see Meta start moving, then that's when the other players really start coming in, and then it's a pushing and a shoving match of who can position themselves properly. But
And
guys,
NFT versus, what's interesting though, not now that you said that, right? It's who is Meta's competitors? Apple, Google, these are big conglomerates that Meta's going after, right? Meta wants to take out Apple and Google here, and Apple's not going to lay down and allow Meta to have all this metaverse, you know, advertisement and be the first movers. Apple already announced that they're releasing their AR glasses or VR glasses, whatever you want to call it. The prototype is coming as early as the end of this year, if not, I mean, not this year, next year. It's coming. So you make great points, NFT verse, but Meta's competing, but they're going to be competing with the conglomerates of Apple and Google, and may the best man win and bring us into the future, we may say.
Yeah, man. Sometimes it's hard for people to understand when they throw out dollar amounts of this economy, this metaverse economy, and they start saying trillions. That's a lot of money, and people can't comprehend the amount of money that is. The metaverse is worth trillions, guys. We're talking about the generations after us that they're trying to capture, right? It's not just us in here right now. You know, some of us are old school, some of us are mid old school, or whatever you want to call it, right? But they're not trying to target us, guys. They're targeting the younger generation. That's where the trillions will roll in, and that's what they're trying to position themselves for. Thanks, I appreciate it, Kev.
I know Gary has a fire response to this. Go ahead, bro.
Hey man, I already pinned half of it to the top, but yeah, the NFT verse, you bring up a good point that celebrities they're really cool, and they're also not just like businesses, they are businesses and they're brands, and they have demographics, and you can hire them to speak, and you can hire them to, promote your product, and they can choose to say no, of course, right? That based on their ethics and what they know about the world. But yeah, a lot of good brands out there. And yeah, this was all big news. What you guys are talking about was all big news. Vitalik Buterin, claiming that Meta's jumping the gun with the metaverse, trying to, jump in the metaverse, make all these moves, change their name to Meta, the overarching company. Facebook didn't change their name. The overarching company did, kind of how Google changed it to Alphabet. And yeah, they're making all these moves, and it's kind of like, I mean, not really. They're not. I'm not saying that Facebook is. I mean, maybe they're the bad guy, but it's kind of like they're the bad guy from Ready Player One. And they're trying to lay all this claim. And yeah, and for better or for worse, it's interesting because Vitalik Buterin is being set up as the old best friend wizard, and trying to help keep everything decentralized, and trying to keep the love, and keep the fun, and keep the ownership, and prevent as much overreach of advertising, and like uh, centralized creep into these protocols, because of the we don't want these to go too centralized, right? Like everyone's naturally going to try to centralize. They're all going to try to power grab. And one of the mistakes that Vitalik says Meta's making is that it's too early to really know, what people want, and where the source of truth comes from. Always, for what people want, it comes from the people. So it comes from people building, and people coming together, and people using games, or people using websites, and companies want to have a top-down approach, and they want to dictate. Like everyone wants, would love to dictate. Just 'cause some companies have more power to dictate what they think should be cool. And yeah, we just got to keep things weird, and we got to keep things decentralized, and we got to keep things fun, and we have to prevent the scammers. We have to really do our, like, we got to have fun, and we got to have make money, while preventing the newest and most uninformed from being susceptible to these scammers, like that came in earlier, or corporations that have good intentions, but they're going about things the wrong way. Uh, yeah, so yeah, I think you guys are totally right to be like, it's exciting to see what Facebook is doing, and they're totally onboarding. They're like, I mean, it's good because they're onboarding literally like a billion people, right? Hundreds of millions of people into Trust Wallet and Coinbase Wallet, and I think MetaMask Wallet and NFTs. And they're probably not, naturally going to do everything right in like a truly Web3 way. I haven't really seen it yet. Maybe it'll go that way. It remains to be seen, but it's only going to go that way by us coming together in rooms like ENS Updates and hanging out with Kev 5159 and talk. And I'm being serious, man. I'm not just promoting this room, right? You got to promo this room. Like, people need to know to show up. They got to know to come together. Otherwise, instead of like you saying what you want to do, you're going to be told what to do. And we're really lucky to have people, like Vitalik and people like Nick Johnson, who, they might not see eye to eye on everything that we see eye to eye on, but core fundamentals of, freedom and decentralization and giving power to the people and letting the community dictate, how we want to be moving forward. I mean, it's all key for the future that I want. I think it's key.
So real quick, I do want to say I actually look at Zuck as a hero. I know a lot of people look at Zuck as a villain. I look at Zuck as a hero, and the reason I look at Zuck as a hero is because he's daring to dream. He's a dreamer. He's the first mover. He's saying, yeah, I don't know what people want. I don't actually know what the metaverse is, but damn it, I'll be the first one to try it. I'll be the first one to attempt it, and I'm going to put billions of dollars into it, and we'll see how it goes. Now, the Apples and Googles of the world are being a lot more patient, and it's probably going to end up releasing a lot better of a product. But one thing you can't take away is first mover advantage, right? Isn't that what Ethereum has over all the other blockchains? It has first mover advantage. And if you could do first mover advantage right enough, then you could give yourself a little gap in the industry, a gap in the market. So I respect Zuck just for the simple fact that he is moving first. He is trying to actively create something. And then if better competitors come along the line and knock him off, like Apple or Google or a brand new company that's completely Web3 based, then so be it. But we have to respect him. Well, not we don't. You guys don't have to do anything. I like him and respect him for, actually being early and bringing us this futuristic world now. But NFT verse, after you, we'll go ahead and switch gears here a little bit. Go ahead, man.
Yeah. So I hope I don't rug, but I want to give you guys a glimpse into my brain, just a little bit, in what I think Web3 is and the metaverse and how it compares to things that we've seen before, right? So if you think about the Wizard of Oz, right? When I think about the Wizard of Oz, I think that, man, that looks like the evolution of where we're at now into the metaverse, right? So I think about, like, what was Dorothy's aunt name? Aunt M, right? She was old school. They were like, stop, Dorothy, don't think about that stuff. Stop dreaming. And yeah, that's not going to happen or whatever, right? But Dorothy was a dreamer, right? So then she gets, this tornado comes and it takes her to this other portal, this other world, right? The whole entire family takes her to this other world. This world, Dorothy represents the youth, the mind of the youth. The world goes from black and white to color, right? The evolution, right, from black and white to color. If you guys watch this movie, if you haven't, you need to go watch it. But I'm pretty sure everybody has. It goes from normal to color, and then there's a roadmap. The roadmap is a yellow brick road. There's a yellow brick road, and it leads somewhere. But throughout that roadmap, there's ups and downs. There's challenges. There's things that are happening. There's the wicked witch, who could be considered a hacker, right? That's trying to destroy things, with it along the roadmap, the ups and downs, right? And then you have the PFPs. Think about it. Think about this, guys. The PFPs are the animals, right? You got the monkeys. You got all the different versions of the flying monkeys. You got the lions. You got the lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my! All of these freaking PFPs, right? In Oz, right? And then you have the wizard, when they reach Oz, his giant castle and everything, the wizard, and when they go behind the curtain, he's talking and everything like that. But when you go behind the curtain, he's pushing all these buttons, technology. Oz had technology that wasn't there before, right? All this is a dream, right, from Dorothy. But think about it. I just want to put that out there. I hope I was clear, and I hope it kind of opened up people's minds to understand how to relate those things that have happened before. That movie was in the 60s. And if we think about it and open our minds a little bit, how it correlates to today and the evolution and how technology works. So I just wanted to share that, 5159. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, guys. I do want to go over to Master real quick. He's been waiting very patient.
Well, can I just give a comment? Just one
Yeah,
30
go
10
go ahead,
second.
brother.
The yellow brick road. I mean, I heard the yellow brick road. The yellow brick road in what is it called? The Wizard of Oz. It came out like a spiral, and the opposite of the yellow brick road was the red brick road. And the yellow brick road took Dorothy from, the beginning to the end and through all this treachery of the roadmap. But no one ever asks what happened if instead of taking the yellow brick road, she took the red brick road.
What happens?
She instantly gets to the place that she wanted to go to in the very end of the movie, and she could have like forgotten like all of the pain that she, went through, and she like it was like a skip to the end button, and it would have made things a lot easier. But
Nice.
nobody ever asked. All the Munchkins were just like, yeah, the yellow brick road will get you there, and no one ever asked, what about the red brick road?
See what happens when you go deep, Kev. I'm sorry to throw it off, but that's what happens, man. That's my brain.
By the way, that film is from 1939.
39. Thank you. Appreciate it.
We should talk about this later tonight.
That is hilarious. Yes, let's talk about the Wizard of Oz. Is that the film we're talking about here, Wizard of Oz?
Yes.
Yes, let's go back and talk about the Wizard of Oz. I don't think I even watched that film, to be honest, y'all. So the truth is, ladies and gentlemen, I have no idea what the NFT verse and Gary is talking about right now because I never watched the movie. And if I did watch the movie, I probably watched it when I was really young, and all I know is that there's a robot, there's like a furry character. I know that much. But ladies, it's not about me. We have Master in the building. Master obviously needs to let out some frustration, some steam. They robbed them blind. Rarible robbed Master blind, right? And if Master's upset with Rarible, then we're all upset with Rarible. And that's how I feel about it. But Master, the stage is yours, bro.
Hey, good morning, guys. Just something of my experience to share with you. I think once I mentioned something like every day is a good day, every news is good news, but it proves that I was not totally right. So yeah, I had some day waked up by I think it was July the 10th when I wake up and see the message from Rarible saying your domain was sold. This is usually an exciting, message, right? Every day we wake up, we see something like that, which is great. But this time I will see two of my domains got sold with the price that I definitely I make 100%. I deleted before the last year. Wayne.is WAYNE Wayne.is got sold for 5.9 is, which it was last year's price, and this year I even delisted the 39 listing. And another name is Daisy DAISY Daisy.is got sold for 3.9 by last year's price, and this year I deleted. I'm even not listing it, on Rarible. So it was so making me upset. So I tried to contact on Rarible support on Discord at the first place because I tried to pin them on Twitter. They don't give a shit. There's no replies here. So on Discord, I have to go to their channel and the support channel, and I try to DM and add some of their support guys. They wanted me to log a ticket in their system. Fine. Okay, I saw it was a very shabby website. I fill in a lot of information of myself, of the link, and attach the attachments, the pictures. And then I wait. I think I wait for 10 days till they get back to me and told me that you might forgot to delete it. That's why your problem. But what the hell, I just provided all the supporting and with the screenshots and with all the links, which clearly proves that's not the case. Because if you check on the the links and the history of this name, it says the name transferred to me at some date at last year January the 20th, January 22nd, and then I listed for like 5.9 by some day, and a couple months later I deleted, and then another I deleted, make sure this is unlisted. And so later this year, I kind of listed again for 19.9, and then I canceled the 19.9 and the list for something 35, and even the 35 got canceled, and all of a sudden it's telling me the 5.9 price was accepted and it was sold. So I cannot totally understand this at all. So regardless of how variable people is arguing right now, because at that time I just kind of use these words and phrases and reply back to them. I tell them to check again, because the threads I already been have been very specific and described the history, and I told them to check again. This is not the case, definitely. Okay, then they disappear again. Unfortunately, after 10 days of waiting, I wait for another 2 weeks. I think they reply first day by July the 20th, and now it's already August the 5th. I hear no reply back from them. So this make me very not happy. Imagine if it's a customer that it's a ENS. Maybe it's ENS doesn't mean a lot to them, but imagine if a punk got sold for 5 E's to someone, and that community is going to get pissed, and they will suffer big time, right? Imagine a BYC got sold for 10 E something. This is just the same case. Wayne plus Daisy, what's the value of that? Sam.E's got sold for 100 E's, and these are the first names, and these babies are even cheaper on the renewal expense. This baby only costs me $5 per year to renew, and yeah. I mean, this is really upset. But at the very beginning, I still try to avoid putting this very high profile in the community, because as a traditional Chinese culture, we try to not getting too many enemies. During the whole process, we try to put a peaceful way to check with them to go through the line, but it doesn't seem they respect it this way, and they made me wait for another almost a full month and didn't get any reply. And today, right after I just posted this Twitter, okay, I mean 3 hours later, Rarible team replied on my message. Wow, this is very impressive. But saying the same things, they say you might have forgotten to delete it, and I have already spoken and reply back a couple of times. They are still not putting anything convincing on this yet. But yeah, let's just stay tuned on that and see how they get a final conclusion on that. Because you know let me just ping one of my another reply picture so that you guys can all take a look, which is very clear to all of you. Regardless of what they say, I just pinned this picture. They still cannot explain this picture on Wayne that is, which is very clear. There is only one 5.9 listing, and this one definitely delisted. How come this still got sold, while the 19.9 and the 35 years of the listing got cancelled? That doesn't make sense to me. Either their contract has some security problem, or their front end something is wrong. But regardless, this is a variable system that caused my loss, and they made me wait for the whole month and no reply till I have to put this in a whole big community, and then they start to pay attention. This is not something cool. So I think their attitude problem is even more serious than the contract or the functionality. Maybe it can be something happening that's there. What they say makes sense, but although according to this picture, it doesn't make any sense. But I think the attitude is a big issue. And right now, whatever they can say, but you can only imagine, even they don't care about me, who they will care about any of you. I'm kind of kind a little bit famous in the ENS community. They don't care at all. Maybe if a BAYC or Doodles or Punk or NFT community, the more famous, if Vitalik has same problems, he must fix it for the same day and compensate everything he's lost, and try to make an announcement regarding how they treated this in a decent way. But I think maybe that's the case, unfortunately. So I choose not to wait any longer, because at the beginning I really want to get this resolved in a peaceful way. I don't.
Yep. Hey, did you? I think you got rugged for the last couple seconds you were speaking there, man. Master, you there? Earth to Master.
seems that Rarible interconnected.
Oh wow. Rarible took off his connection, bro. That is hilarious. Well,
See,
that's
see what happens. That's how I get rugged all the time.
I'm gonna invite Master back to the stage. Rarible took off his connection. Yeah, but that's pretty crazy though. That is a man. That's a hundreds of $1,000 loss right there. Yeah, Master. Back on you, brother. You good? Oh yeah, Rarible's not fucking off right now. In the meantime, let's go to Ron, bro. I seen Ron playing with rhinos just earlier today, and let me go ahead and pin this. Ron is literally out in Africa playing with rhinos right now, y'all. It's kind of crazy. Good morning, Ron. I don't know if you have connection either, bro, but how you doing today?
Yeah. I'm actually just landed in Cape Town. Just checked into my hotel, checking out the ocean, little sunset action. But it was crazy. Yesterday, I know in Africa when you get rugged, you lose all your electricity. So I guess they have these rolling blackouts, and you can get on. They'll kind of tell you when. But yesterday, the place I was staying, which is a friend's estate out there. They live on like 65,000 acres. They have those rhinos and lions and all kinds of stuff. But yeah, the electricity just went out right as I got back to the lodge. And the problem I've had is every day I get back to the place I'm staying with internet right about the time the show's been ending. So man, it's good to be back here in NFT verse, here in Gary Master. That sucks about Master. I had not heard about that. That's some BS there, and that's just how they are. I mean, a lot of these companies they'll just try and ignore you and hope you go away, but can't let that happen. I'm pissed, man. My first day back to the show, and I'm pissed.
Hey,
Hey,
Ron, don't spend the island money. I just want to say that real quick. Don't blow it.
Okay, just that's all right. The next 4 days, and then I'm going back to ramen noodles. But for the next 4 days, and then luckily the exchange rate's so good right now. As shitty as the dollar is, it's so much better. Like I'm in Cape Town right now. It's almost 20 to 1 exchange rate, and it's normally when I've been here, it's been like 5 to 1, 10 to 1. So yeah, I'm feeling like a high roller without having to spend too much money. It feels good.
hey, Ron. You just mentioned you had a lights out. And just now, I experienced a lights out, a blackout for 1 second. Maybe it's in summer. The air cons are all on. That's why I got disconnected. I even don't know where I get stopped. But yeah, I think I'm not going to share too much about the complaints. I don't want to share complaints too much. This is just like throwing up. But more, it's like a reminding to you guys because Rarible people keeps talking something like their system will automatically pouring the OpenSea listing. So when you need to delete, you need to delete both platforms. But that saying doesn't make too much sense to me. If I keep showing them the picture I just pinned, I think I'm not convinced anyway. And more importantly, I mean, it's their attitude to the users when they feel get rugged or having issues. It just nobody shows up anytime. That's the major spirit and the point I'm going to point out. So, but yeah, it's not happening today, which means I'm not upset today. It happens like 1 month ago. So I try to keep quiet and silence for the whole month till I think this has been too long and a bit ridiculous to post it. And thanks much for everyone here that helped me to retweet this and get more people to see that. I don't think we need to put our listing in too many platforms because some platform might have this issue, right? Rarible will automatically pull the OpenSea listing. That functionality, sucks. Who allows them to do that? But yeah, you if you put your listing in and domain token approval for too many sites, then you don't know by which days some sites got rugged or have the similar issue, and each time you have to delete on each platform, which doesn't make sense at all. So yeah, just try to focus on the safest platform you prefer, and I believe this might be the best way to manage your bags as of now. So yeah, this is not a complaint because this has been way too long, and I've been used to it, and I already acquired Japan.e, so I'm more than happy right now. what is gone is gone. So I don't want to retrieve whatever lost in yesterday, but more focus on tomorrow. So thanks much, guys. Much love.
Yeah, for people that are worried about old contracts on their ENS names across these different platforms, kind of the one strategy to implement is that you could take, and this could cost, depending on, how much gas is, but, whatever, you could transfer all your NFTs to a fresh wallet that's never been connected to Rarible and OpenSea and stuff like that. Because, it's a lot of revoking that has to get done. And yeah, you can revoke everything and go through all that. And I guess like in Master's case, Rarible is, just, is obviously, right. So he set it up in a way where he got snagged. And yeah, if people transfer their names to a new fresh address, then it's sort of like a new address never connected to all these smart contracts with all these permissions. Like people, there's all these permissions you have authorized. And if there were, I mean, right, you see what I'm saying? You go to a fresh address instead of that's never been connected to any of these smart contracts, and then you can protect those names maybe.
Yeah, that makes all the sense. That is for the people like us, like myself, that in the past we signed on multiple platforms such as Rarible, Looks Rare, and for newcomers, they are safe, right? As long as they are only commit to one platform. So yeah, I will consider into that. So thanks for the advice, Gary. And one complicated thing for me to do is I have to manually transfer one another hundreds of domains from one wallet to another. Maybe only the very valuable one, but yeah, thanks much for the for the advice.
Awesome. More importantly, thank you, Master, for sharing that story with us. Whatever we could do to support you, if you want us to retweet, comment on that post to help bring awareness, I'm going to go ahead and retweet that. So I'll bring awareness and put some pressure on the Rebel team, right? And that's what community is all about. Now, I do want to do a slight reset of the room. This is the ENS Update Show, ladies and gentlemen. We do this every Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to about 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is the greatest show in all of Twitter Spaces. So if you're in here, you are blessed, and I am grateful for you being here. And if you want to come on stage and share questions, comment, anxiety, frustration, the stage is open to you. I ask for one thing and one thing only. Go ahead and give this room a retweet because we have some serious speakers, some serious alphas, and some serious gems being dropped today. But we have Lex and Yoga with their hand up. We'll go Yoga, then we'll go Lex.
Hey, Room, GM. I have a few things to say. I'll be quick, though. One thing about the Wizard of Oz that we were talking about earlier, it was actually based on the financial system, and the Yellow Brick Road was gold, and her shoes originally were silver, right? So that was interesting. A little bit of alpha in the 3-digit club. So the FAA guys, the flight guys, they, through their community, they're learning about FAA. They even had a call earlier in the week, which was kind of cool, and maybe that's why there's some activity in that area. So Master, that sucked for you, man. That's not cool at all. It almost feels like stealing, I feel. I mean, it's not, it is, I don't know. I need to research still about the smart contracts, but and how that happened. But now you need to do bulk ENS migration. And I think, but I'm not sure, maybe someone in the room can verify if ENS.visions, the new kid in the block, they're doing well with their tool. I think they have that. If not, they're delivering a lot of features, and they might build it in. I know that they do it for less gas or something like that. And then you got Rugged in the middle of that. So we're an ENS a community that cares, right? So we care what happens to you. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you.
Thank you for coming on, bro. Go ahead, Lex.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Hope everyone's having a productive Friday. Yeah, I just want to kind of echo what everyone has been saying. Master, I feel you. I've had the same issue, I think last year on NFTs and virtual lands where something gets sold or something is posted on another platform, and we're both kind of late to the call. And so that's definitely a thing. I think it's a contract, but it is a UI thing as well. They're always working on something, but I don't see it really getting fixed. I love all the analogies today because analogy paints a picture for people's imagination, you know. So I love the real player one analogy I think Gary put up, and the NFT verse with the Wizard of Oz. That is really, really, that's really dope, and definitely take the analogy a step further and watch the Oz. If you haven't seen the Wizard of the Oz, is the one that was done in the '80s, I believe, with Michael Jackson. But just on a personal note and on topic, off topic, I know we always talk about we're early, but we're early when it comes to ENS. But when it comes to this like domain mentality, you know, we're definitely a benchmark. All of us as a community, and at this point, it might be fifth or sixth down that I've pinned up to the top where it says ENS domain name history. I went ahead and updated an infographic which shows the history of the domain history within the industry. You know, from the first emails in 1970s to the first domains in 1984 and 1985. And I went ahead and added my own domain somewhere in there between 2000 and added ENS to 2017. And I would love for, if you're artistically inclined, graphically or whatever you want, add your own domains. I would like to see the ENS vision guys and girls, put up ENS Vision as the first kind of ENS, platform, in 2022 in this infographic, and it's a good studying, to see all the how the industry came about and how it came about, and then we can branch out from there, where I can see in 5 years how this infographic is gonna double, with all the minds and all the utilities and everything that we're thinking about within these rooms within this community. So yeah, man, just I'll continue listening to you guys. Everything sounds dope from this end.
Thank you, brother. Man, we are at 12 o'clock now. We have Wheezy on stage. Wheezy, the stage is yours, man. Good morning. Well, good afternoon. How you doing, brother?
Good morning, man. Appreciate you putting me on. Yeah, I was actually just writing up a tweet kind of on my thoughts of the current things we're seeing, which I think today is probably one of the most exciting days. I don't know about you. I think in general, the reputation of the word NFT within corporate America is kind of shifting. We started seeing this with more of like fashion brands and different brands, things like Shopify, Tiffany's, Gucci, LVMH, kind of starting to accept cryptocurrency and also utilize NFTs. But I think we're starting to see the NFT market mature, and not only for like art, images, music, and trading cards and the transferring of those, but I think much more use cases are coming, like verification, authentication services, things around that. Kind of writing a tweet about that right now. Just an example would be, I don't know if you guys are familiar, this wasn't like huge news or anything compared to Meta or anything, but Pearson, one of the biggest textbook companies, and I believe their publisher as well, they're actually going to start creating their ebooks and all of their books as NFTs, which gives them in turn more revenue of the secondary sales, as well as kind of the verification and authentication that I was talking about earlier. And who knows, maybe this will actually bring the cost of textbooks in general down. If you went to college, you know what I'm talking about. Paying like $600 for textbooks. So it's super exciting. I think the future of NFTs, and not just NFTs as art and profile pictures, things like that. I think it's really starting to mature and resonate with a lot of companies in corporate America, at least the reputation of the word.
Wow, that's some alpha. That's serious alpha right there. Pearson's is making their text. It only makes sense, right? You can't fade superior technology when it simply comes down. So I'm happy you shared that with us. If there's a tweet or something about that, if you could pin it, that would be amazing, because what happens is you buy these super expensive books for anywhere between $300 to $1,000, depending on the class, and you just sell it back to a bookstore, you sell it back to the school, or you just sell it on basically the secondary market. So if Pearson could get a royalty percentage anytime somebody flips the book over, that's an amazing business model you simply can't beat. So thank you for that, Alpha Man. 1289, the stage is yours, brother. Good morning. 1289, you there? All right, we'll go right over to Just Shills. Good morning, man.
Good morning, guys. Good morning, 5159, Gary Pell, the NFT, Lex, Weezy, Magnum, Yogara, Master, and the list goes on and on, So there's just so many great leaders in this room. And I just want to say thank you for bringing ENS updates to us like no tomorrow. I've never seen any project or any instance where the whole community is coming together and bringing the power pack house. Like, I used to be on a mentorship called with one of my mentors, and I feel like this is very similar to his mindset, like ENS updates. And I feel like, he used to call his mentorship program the breakfast of champions. So it seems like these ENS updates, it's like brain, it's like food for your brain. Like, all the thoughts that come in here, man, and all the champions are gonna win, and all the champions that take this amazing data from you guys, these thoughts, the future, where we are today, what's about to happen. It's like all being served at the right place, at the right time, fresh in the morning when everybody's fresh awake, and you can choose to feed these breakfast of champion nuggets to your brains and innovate. There's been so many times that I've come in here and I've left with nothing but value. There's always something to learn from this room. There's always someone here bringing true clarity as to where we are, like literally painting a picture, man. And I just can't thank you guys enough. I really want to say that I really appreciate you guys. And once again, I would always say, if you feel like you're not a great explainer or something that, you can't share the right way, get them to the source. ENS updates is the place to be, man. Let people learn, and share the alpha. All you hear is nothing but alpha being shared in this entire room. So, guys, thank you so much. Truly appreciate you guys. I'm sorry I was getting rugged really bad. I restarted my modem. I restarted my router, and I just wanted to say, man, like, thank you, because I just can't wait to see more people growing together, more people bringing creativity, more people innovating this place, and it's all thanks to you guys for standing the standards. Truly, truly appreciate it, and I can't wait to see you guys all again at the ENS happy hour, 9 p.m. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much for having me, and truly, truly appreciate you guys.
Just Shells, thank you. You're probably the nicest guy in this space, right? You come in here, and every time you come on stage, you give us compliments, and you say nice things about us. So I'm very grateful for that. It means a lot, and I always appreciate the nice words. Thank you very much, Just Shills. And keep doing what you're doing, bro. Keep doing what you're doing. I see like you're trying to build a platform here. You're trying to do it in a good way, in a respectable way, and I respect that, man. I respect the builder. So keep on building, brother. We'll go over to Rock Offer. The stage is yours, man.
Thank you very much. What it is, every people, GM, to my fellow DGens and friends. I'm not going to be as nice as Just Shills because I'm a cold-hearted bastard and I hate people. Okay, that piece of humor out of the way. The idea the thing I want to shill is an idea, and the idea is active listening. I was in an ENS Queen space, I think it was yesterday, and the question came up of what can we do to onboard folks? And the thing I wanted to add is to take a look at the folks who are already on board, who are already in this ship, who are already here going, now what? And folks are starting to come up to the mic. Before I was definitely somebody who, kind of lurked and wasn't comfortable getting up on the mic for as outgoing as a person as I can be. But, I've gotten more comfortable. I've definitely gotten, feeling invited. This is a fairly open crew. And actively listening and, and asking, so why'd you think that? Or can you build that up? Or, how'd you get to that idea? And, taking their idea and adding to it versus shooting it down, I have found really creates something new and exciting and juicy and get something in your belly going, oh man, yeah, this could be it. And if this isn't it, if this is a place where something like this could be it, oh my gosh, let's start building. Let's get interested. I don't know how to code, but there's a 32-hour YouTube video out there about how to code. Maybe I'm going to start doing that. And so the idea that I want to put into the ether, so to speak, is when somebody does have an idea, find ways to try to pull more out to cultivate that idea. Thank you for the space. Happy Friday and happy Saturday, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, man. Hold on. I'm trying to bring somebody on stage. Oh, well, we'll just keep on moving. Yeah, thank you, man. That was good. Thank you, Rock Opera. We have my boy ENS Punks, my attorney, my Web3 attorney. This guy's legit. So if you don't know who ENS Punks is, I'll allow him to introduce himself. ENS Punks, man. Good afternoon, bro.
Yo, Kev, GM to you, GM to the co-hosts. It's good to have Ron and Master in the house, but Gary P, NFT Verse, you are doing a fine job holding it down in their absence. Ron, I love the pick out there with the rhinos. That's fantastic. Before I get into it, because I'm fired up, but 5159, please. I do have I am an attorney, but not your attorney.eth registered. So far, I've just got the Dr. F subdomain off of that. Please don't make me do a 5159. I am an attorney, but not your attorney.eth subdomain. But seriously, Master, man, this pisses me off. When I went public with my thing, and like he's saying, nobody likes to go public, right? It's like the last resort, and really it's a sad thing, but we see it in Web 2, and it's part of this idea of we want to remove trust. We don't want to have to go to social media, have to be, have a big following and say, look, we try to go through the official channels. We try to do it the right way, but you just ignored us. And now I'm going to bring it public. And all of a sudden, like magic, these people can respond to you. These people can do the right thing and reach out. And that's why we want decentralization. We don't want centralized authorities making these decisions behind closed doors. We want things on chain. We want trustless. We want self-executing. We do not want this bullshit. And the fact is, that's exactly how Master said it. He's not going out there, and this is his first attempt to get it resolved by going publicly, but he's doing it because it failed with the centralized authority. And that's what happened to me, right? And Master was the first one to be fired up and tell me how much it pissed him off to see, basically just because I was a trademark holder and somebody was trying to, charge me, tax me $100,000+, and he let it be known. He showed me the support. And that goes to this, 5159, right? He asked for my help and I gave it to him. He deserves it. He is the reason we're here. just yesterday, as Novak was talking about the birth of his child, Gary P goes out of his way to say how fantastic that is, how the community should be celebrating things like births, things like marriages. And I think that's a fantastic thing. The NFT verse, right? He's got the happy hour going on tonight. That's about bringing the community together, having a little fun. Our minds are getting melted all week long, using big words, talking big brain things. And we need that time and place to just let our hair down and relax. And man, it's about supporting the community. Now is the time. Every time something comes up like a grant for 5159, something comes up like the happy hour, I'm going to be there, and I'm going to be championing those causes, because it doesn't take anything. You all can like and retweet. You can do these things. It costs you nothing to support the community, right? It's like, how many of you have you retweeted this space right now? If you haven't, do it. We're going to wrap up soon, but do it. Um, how many of you have clicked on Master's tweet thread and read through it and see what happens? How many of you gave it a like? How many of you retweeted? How many of you commented? It costs you nothing to support the community. And that's what it is. It is, you've got to understand that we as a community, it's an amazing thing. We have so much power, and it's like, I don't think anybody really respects, understands, and realizes how much power we have collectively. And we don't want to, exercise that power for things like, hey, do the right thing, but we have to. And, we'd much rather be working on positive things, right? Master is a builder. He is working on redletter.eth. And that's what I'd rather be focused on than something like what's going on with Wayne.eth. But sometimes we got to, hit pause, and we just got to support each other as we're doing these things. And it kind of goes exactly, dang, he got off the stage as a speaker already, but our guy Rock Opera was up here, right? And he was saying he was in the Queen space, and he was listening to them, active listening, and they were talking about onboarding. And again, it's like, it's community building. You got to support the Queens, you got to support Master, support everybody. But especially, it's like, if you're here every day, you're listening, come on up and speak. We want to know who you are. We want to know what's going on. Without that, this platform is here to deepen our connections with each other. And we want to support each other. Part of that is learning who you are, what you're working on, the problems you're facing. And, that's what a community does, is supports one another. And man, Master, you supported me. I don't know that I can do a whole lot other than get on my soapbox and preach. But hey, that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm willing to do. And I'll support you any way that I can. So I just hope everybody sort of, does that. Like 5159 sort of noted, Just Shills is sort of new to the community, but he comes up all the time. He's talking. He's always giving praise. My man made a banner for the ENS Update space. He made I don't know if it's a GIF or a video for the ENS Happy Hour. It's like, that's the sort of thing that, you want to champion. You want people who are embracing the community and taking their time to want to be part of it. So I encourage everybody to be part of it. And, if you're ever going through some shit, like I went through some shit, and Master supported me and the community supported me. And hey, look at the outcome, right? It went from this $100,000 plus quotation down to $330. We got it done. We did business, and that would have never happened without the support of the community. Hopefully, this community rallies around and supports Master, same way we did with getting 5159. That successfully, we got him a grant through votes. Man, just please, support each other, support the overall community. Like the Queens were talking, support more women getting onboarded in this space. We want more women and Queens up here talking. And that's it, man. I guess that's the word for today. Master got me all fired up. So I'm sorry to hear about all this, but door is open. If I can do anything, Master, please let me know.
Yep, sounds good. Thank you, ENS Punks. Huge figure, space, and member community steward. We have Crypto Coda. Thank you, ENS Punk. We have Crypto Coda, then we'll probably call this one a day. It is Friday, so might end this thing a little early on Friday. Crypto Coda, the stage is yours.
Hey, brother, how are you guys doing? Everybody, I appreciate you having me on the space. Just to feed on that last one, yes, I feel so positive about the ENS space. A couple of the NFT spaces I've been in, I just don't get the love that really I get here. I could tell you stories all day, but really I want to talk about utility. That's what I want to talk about today with ENS is utility. We're using a lot of the how do I say this? All the numbers are selling. You can see numbers selling all day long, but when it comes down to words and actual utilities, I think we need to get more on space to getting .eth more focused towards the .com side because it has so much more utility than a .com has. I just don't understand why so many people are fighting over like what club we're going to be or whatever. Anybody can make up a club. Shit. I mean, yesterday I put out this thing with a bunch of S's, pagolas, verandas, tabletops. I said I want to start an S club. Shit. Anybody can start a club. That ain't the point. The point is the utility of the actual NFT. If everybody has the utility of their NFT based on their business, based on their brand, based on going forward in Web3, then I think, we do. Like, look, I mean, we're looking at listeners right now like Michael Zeiger from GoDaddy. Michael, thank you for listening in on this. I mean, hell, I have a question for you personally. When is GoDaddy going to adapt .eth to where we can start selling them on there? Because honestly, we have we have as much utility. We have as much utility on a .eth as any of the .coms, .ios, .xyzs that GoDaddy represents. So, I mean, as far as purchasing a Web3 identity, people do want to flex. I understand you want to flex, and people are going to have their first names. I mean, that's a flex. People are going to have their whole first and last names together. I mean, that's just their utility. But as far as the marketing value, let's talk about the marketing value and getting these things out to the world. That's what I want to talk about. When is the world, not just the Twitter space, going to represent the .eth? Does that make sense? And thank you for listening.
We're getting it. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I mean, this is the question as old as crypto time. It's like when Bitcoin was first invented. It probably was like, a couple weeks later, and someone's like, "When am I going to be able to buy this at the banks?" And yeah, we have ENS, and I mean, like a big company, it's like a big ship, and there's a lot of people, and it's a big organization, and it takes time, for coordinate to everyone to be on the same page, and I don't, and so I just want to say at the big level, with these large companies I have a lot of experience with, it just takes time for the large companies to do what they got to do. And what I was saying at near the beginning of the show is that with Web3, we have all of these adopters. In the Web3, we have all of these adopters of users and ENS names. And then the equal but opposite reaction is that we're the number one integrated blockchain naming protocol in Web3 with over 1,000 websites, Web 2 and Web 3, that are integrated organically ENS. And so what's the equal and opposite reaction of that? Well, we have more users that are buying into ENS. We have all these clubs that are popping up. What's the equal but opposite reaction to that? Well, now Coinbase has integrated ENS names, and other places are looking at integrating ENS names. And what's the equal but opposite reaction to that? Well, Facebook just launched NFTs with Instagram, and they're connecting to Coinbase wallet and Trust wallet and possibly MetaMask. I haven't seen specifically, but I would assume. And so we're just bouncing and evolving and iterating, and people are asking questions and they're testing things, and that's why we're coming to this room to learn. But I would just say, ask not what GoDaddy could do for you. and ask, what can you do for ENS names and GoDaddy? Because we're all in this together. We're all, and I just think we're all in this together, and I want us to be the change, right? I want us to send respectful emails to different websites that we use in Web 2 and Web 3, and for us to say, hey, I think we should do sign in with Ethereum. I think we should do login to XYZ. I think we should implement the EIP sign in with Ethereum standard. And by doing that, it automatically defaults to ENS because it's the organic, open, blockchain naming protocol online. And when
Well,
anyone wants to tap it, and it's just going to be all natural.
Right. Well, see, I've matched a couple of my .eths with .xyzs and .orgs from GoDaddy, of course. I mean, I went to GoDaddy and I purchased the XYZs and the .orgs to match my .eths. But like when you type in a .xyz or a .org, the letters go green, and when you type in a .eth, they don't. And I think that's really where, when that happens, I think that's when people are going to be able to go ahead and click on that .eth and go straight to it, just like you would click on the .xyz, the .com, the .net, or the .anything else.
Yeah, well,
Like
so .eth names. If you go to Brave browser right now, probably the latest update or so, and you type in Gary Palmer Jr. .eth without the .limo, it'll ask you the first time if it's okay to use Infura, and then it's automatically going to resolve my IPFS website. And then if I'm linking to other .eth and whatnot, then it's creating this whole system, right, where it's naturally resolving in the Brave browser. It's probably only a matter of time with the back and forth and the equal and opposite reactions before there's a Chrome update, and Chrome is naturally going to resolve ETH names. So I think when I look at the data points of the news and the data points of what's happening from the lower end of people like us, and then from the higher end of these large corporations, the trend is all moving toward the metaverse. They all know it's moving toward the metaverse. And while centralized corporations might be trying to carve out their portion of what they own, what's really winning and what they're ending up going defaulting with is going to be the open source, open protocol where the majority of us users are like. And so I would rather we as users focus on onboarding users and helping small businesses and small companies and small startups and funding shows like ENS Updates, because then we're going to be able to, as a group, we're going to be able to define what's awesome and what feels good, instead of it being told to us by one corporation that was lucky enough to get in early and have a great strategy.
I think that makes a lot of sense, Gary. I think that makes a lot of sense. Thank you guys so much, man. And again, I appreciate all the positivity in the space. We can tell stories all day. My car broke down. Easy AF, my man. He came straight through, bought a couple of domains on me to get me back on the road. Like the community as well. Like it's not just the money. I honest to God swear, it's not just people. Everybody wants to make money, but when people do. I have an answer to every tweet with the .eth, so it's a great community, and it's so positive. I'm having the time of my life, so I just want to thank you guys all for letting me be a part of it as well.
Awesome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think this was an absolutely phenomenal episode. I want to give a shout out to 00 in the crowd and a couple other guys down there. This was a great episode. I love talking about the future and where the space is going and just thinking bigger, right? I think we did a lot of bigger thinking in this episode, but it is the end of this episode. We'll be back on Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm wishing you guys a safe, healthy, and fun weekend. With that being said, 5159 is out. Peace.